Your favorite fat boys.
Man, what it's like, bitch.
What's up, everybody? Your favorite fat boy, Jarron.
Stefan, aka Mayhem, aka your hood reconstruction renaissance, aka your hood department chair.
Hood department chair. So do I bring all my problems to you and will you fix them?
No, you can bring them, but we still working on that whole fixing thing.
So is there a complaint department I can go to?
Yes.
Do they work?
But the box
for
the complaints goes straight into an incinerator.
So kind of like what it does now.
Yeah. You got problems, and we hear that.
Well, you gonna fix them. Okay. We got it. Understood. Okay. So welcome everybody back to the podcast. This is our first episode in a couple months.
Yeah.
Not the first of 2022.
No, not the first of 2022.
Okay, yeah. So we had to wait till it warmed up a little bit.
He had to wait till
I had to wait till it warmed up a little bit to get back at Stefan's house because he won't turn the heat on for me. So today's April 9th, and my birthday's on Tuesday the 12th. So I would like is I wish you happy birthday, Jarron. That's all I'm looking for.
I would think that you'd be looking forward to a kidney, but
I need a kidney in the heart. But
you'll take birthday wellnesses?
I'll take birthday wellnesses for now because my birthday's past. My birthday's coming up. We worry about the heart and the kidney later. But speaking of that, that's a good segue into our first little topic here. Is just to give you an update on what's been going on the past few months with me and trying to get on the transplant list. So we are not on the list currently. However, I finally got the right insurance. Thank God. And I have had appointments a couple last month. I got 3 set up this month. And things are kind of starting to move along in the right direction. So with that being said, in order for the University of Maryland to perform the heart and kidney transplant, I need to have an insurance that will cover both the heart and kidney transplant. Beforehand, I only had Medicare. They will only cover just the kidney side of things or the heart side of things. They only do one or the other. And then on top of that, I had to find a hospital that would do both surgeries with the type of insurance that I needed. Because the hospital we either going to do one or the other, but given the type of insurance I had. So now I got the right insurance, they will go ahead and perform both transplants. So right now we're just working on getting some tests done. The other day I had a CT scan, an ultrasound, some blood work done. It's like a few follow-ups with my heart doctor here and there. And that's where we're at right now. I'll know some more information once I see the doctors later this month. And then we'll see what the next step is. But we are not on the list yet, but I think we will be getting close to it.
And the moral of the story is navigating American healthcare is a bitch.
A super bitch. Because I can remember when I was working, I had United Healthcare, and once we found out everything that I needed, they told me that they couldn't do the transplant here in Maryland. I had to go outside of Maryland to get the transplants done. They told me I would have to go to Georgetown in DC or go to Pittsburgh or maybe Virginia to get the transplant done. I'm like, that's really inconvenient. I understand why you're telling me to go there, but it's super inconvenient to go to get these tests done. And then when they call you and say, hey, we got it ready, you got to be here within a certain amount of time. You can't just drop and get a ride out to Pittsburgh or a flight. I don't know. So let's see. I've been on dialysis since 2018. That's 4 years now. It's been a lot. Been a whole lot.
American healthcare in a nutshell.
Yes.
All right.
We should do a documentary on that.
I think there's plenty.
Mine might be a little different. It could be special.
Oh, okay. It's more of a personal touch then.
We'll see. So today we're going to talk about, our great city again of Baltimore, but instead focusing on the violence that's been happening over the past months or years now?
A few months.
A few months now we've been covering. We used to give you little updates here and there. We're gonna talk about some projects Baltimore has going on that will, I guess the city an updated facelift.
Yeah, they're trying to make the city popping again.
So let's see what they got going on. So recently they said that they will take in the old Target by Mondawmin Mall and turn that into a community center.
Right. So it closed in 2017, but now a construction company, the president of a construction company is coming in and saying that he's going to turn it into a community center for the Mondawmin area.
So I think that's really great to hear because that space is, it was a Target, which I think was helpful to a certain extent, but I think that got really destroyed during the Freddie Gray riots back in, what was that, 2014, 2015?
Yeah, but it was still reopened though. So,
it was? Okay.
Yeah, it did reopen. I guess I would ask the question, how does a Target fail in Mondawmin Mall? But
I went there one time when it was brand new.
I did as well.
So, and they're talking about the jobs and everything like that. So how it failed is a really good question.
Right. But yeah, it's gonna come in, and this construction company, they're gonna come in and they're gonna gut it and they're gonna turn it into a community center and provide for that, those West Baltimore families, and see how that goes.
Well, a community center, I believe will do that area some justice. I won't say justice is the right word, but it'd be beneficial.
I sound skeptical because I'm skeptical about everything, but no, it's actually.
Oh, you're skeptical about the area?
Yeah. I'm skeptical, but it's actually it is a benefit for the community, and hopefully, if this isn't some individual, I don't know enough about the person who's taking it over. I looked up his name. Mm-hmm. It's Timothy Reagan. I don't know enough about him and his company to say what he's going to do, and he's going to make good on the promises of this community center. But so I'm always a little skeptical. But community center, an investment in the community is always better than no investment in the community.
Right, because I heard them float around some ideas of what they want to do. Like they want to put in there like a test kitchen and have people that it's like you want like a food truck and you go in there and prepare some of your food in their test kitchen. And then you're ready to roll out with your food truck, to hit the streets and everything. Something like that. They also want to provide, jobs in that community center as well. So it seems like it'd be a win-win for everybody once they get up and rolling. But right now, like I said, everything's kind of just ideas they're throwing out there. Nothing's like set in stone what it will be. We'll see how that comes about. What's going on? Also too, they have tore down Northwood Shopping Center, and Morgan is revitalizing that. That's going. So they tore down the old McDonald's. They got a new one up. The gas station's still up there. They got a Fortune Bank. They're gonna put in there a Barnes and Nobles, a Chipotle, a Tropical Cafe, a Wingstop, and it's something else. Like a coffee shop.
They're definitely turning that area into a college community.
You need Chipotle, and you need a Wingstop,
and you need Barnes and Nobles.
You got to study somewhere,
right? Look at Towson. Look at Johns Hopkins.
Right. And speaking of Towson's gone through a facelift years ago, especially when we were coming up as kids.
Oh yeah. I've been there recently, and they've definitely gone full stop with construction and building.
Yeah, they got the the condominiums up, new movie theater, those restaurants there. A couple of them closed a couple of them are closed out right now. Yeah. And they finally got a couple shops in the old Towson Commons building now too.
Yeah.
They got there's an axe throwing little place there, and something else in there too. I can't think off the top of my head, but that place has gone through a lot of changes. Because it used to be, it did not used to be all that there when we came up. Used to have a club there in the middle of it.
They did. Generation Extremes.
Oh boy, memories.
Right. So, back to Morgan, making another big investment.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and talk about that.
So, the old Lake Clifton High School, fond memories there, which closed down in 2018. Morgan is buying it up and going to turn it into a satellite campus.
What does that exactly mean, satellite campus?
So, it's not connected to Morgan, but it's a part of Morgan. So, when you on at this new Lake Clifton site, you're still at Morgan. BCCC has it. College Park has it. A lot of other campuses have satellite campuses.
Oh, okay,
connected to or anywhere close to their official university, but it's still a part of the university.
Gotcha. Hey, they dropping they paid $200 million for the Lake Clifton campus. I just want to know where I get his money from because I just want some of it.
I mean, Morgan has a huge endowment, especially as far as colleges go. And HBCUs, Morgan has a huge endowment, just a sum of money that they have to do these kind of things.
And it don't help. It doesn't hurt either that you have Jeff Bezos' ex-wife dumping millions of dollars into them as well.
Right.
What was she doing? Is you single?
I mean, she did just go through a divorce. So, yeah. And she got more money than she could ever spend. I mean, get it when you fit in. I mean,
I might be your man.
And if you need a side piece, I might be your man.
But putting a bid in for Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, I would know her name.
All right, that's fucking horrible.
Yeah, we need to put some respect on her name,
right?
Before we start hollering at her. Cause I don't like the tone of Jeff Bezos' ex-wife,
Mackenzie Scott. Now we can speak directly to her,
Rich ass Mackenzie Scott.
I'm gonna call you Miss Scott because I'm nasty.
Rich ass Mackenzie Scott, holla at your boy.
So yeah, I mean, based off the deal, there's a lot of stipulations that they had to go through. You know, taking the basketball court and removing it and placing it somewhere else. There's a building that's that's in the area that's of importance to the historical society. They have to stabilize. So yeah, there's a bunch of stipulations that go with it that they agreed to so that they can put their satellite campus there.
Well, I look forward to seeing what that's going to be. I don't attend Morgan, but I live close by Morgan, so I've always liked to see what they have built and contributed to the community over the years. I'm really thankful that they are putting some life back at the Northwood Shopping Center because that has just been I guess I won't say run down, but just been stagnant for like so many years and nothing's new come up in there. So
I mean, but you know, the problem that I have with when these colleges do this is the same thing that Coppin has done with the North Avenue area is they buy up all of the property, raises the real estate taxes in the area, and then all of the poor folks and middle class folks who are living there can no longer afford to live there. So yeah, sure, it's nice you're gonna bring in new businesses, but then you're gonna push out the people who were previously there because Coppin has done it up in the North Avenue area, Morgan Estate has done it down in that North Gate area. So
yeah, because they I guess you can ask for more money when it comes to rent or mortgages because it's a house next door to me and the guy's renting it out for, I think it's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath for $1,800. Now, the original price was $2,200, but he decided he wanted to be generous and drop it down to $1,800.
$1,800 is generous.
And because my mom was like, one person, that's a lot of money for a student. I said, Ma, it's not gonna be just one person. It's gonna be 5 people in there, 5 or 6 people, because you're gonna split that rent 5 ways.
Oh hell yeah!
Or 6 ways, because that's the only way that someone really can afford it. I want to be with one person. They depending on what the kind of job they got, absolutely they can afford that.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
But it's still unreasonable.
It's very unreasonable, I think, for that area.
Yeah,
but,
and especially in Baltimore.
And then you got no rent cap, so.
Yeah, Maryland has absolutely no rent caps, so they can raise rent as much as they want as long as they give you a 30-day notice.
Because one thing I was thinking about, and this is just wishful thinking, if Morgan were to, buy up any of these blocks that is across from Morgan State University, I was thinking like, shoot, with my parents having a house right there, if they were to make an offer, would I take the offer or would I ask them to give me more money?
I mean, well, that's...
Or be like the guy in the Up and Up movie.
Well, essentially that's what it was in the area that I lived in on Robb Street because Johns Hopkins University was buying up all of those properties. My next door neighbor at the time, he was like, he was holding out with the hopes that Johns Hopkins would come in to take over that area so he can get a good deal on selling his house. Oh, okay. Because they had taken up most of that area up on the Greenmount, 33rd up to 25th Street.
Yeah. Did you ever get that or you don't know?
No, I haven't. It's been a while since I've checked in, so I don't know.
Well, hope you got it there, sir.
Right.
So yeah, this is wishful thinking, but you don't never know how these things are going to go. So, and just because it happens in one area doesn't mean it's going to happen in another area. With you being a Coppin alumni, when you first went there versus what it, I guess after you graduated, have you seen a lot of changes? Like
yeah, I mean there's tons of change, especially with the number of buildings that they now have erected. So I mean, first they had just one building across the street from the main campus. Now it's completely been built up. I mean, the streets that are in the area have been completely renovated. So they've dropped a ton of money.
Okay.
Yeah, it's completely.
I ain't been on that. I ain't been on that way in a minute. So I can't wait to see what that looks like. We should go up there one day.
I mean, I've been up there.
When last time you been up there?
Yeah, it's been about a month.
Oh, okay.
About a month ago.
You just go up there just because?
I mean, I was in the area, so I went to go check out the campus and look and see all the investment that they put into the area.
Checking out campus means he was looking for some honeys.
No, I'm not that young anymore.
You don't count honeys?
Well, I don't go trolling college for honeys anymore.
Oh, you would be a predator.
I've aged out of doing that.
My bad. I mean, put you in that category.
Right, I'm telling you.
All right, so we got Morgan, doing it up. Talking turned to a community center. Is Corona still a thing? A lot of people saying they think Corona's just gone. Everybody I talk to saying, that ain't pretty much over with. I got my shot and everything. Which one did you get? I got the Johnson & Johnson. I'm surprised you ain't dead yet.
Corona isn't over. Our collective ability to care is over.
Oh, that sounds so bad.
But that's what it is. Our collective ability to care about Corona is over. Said hospitalizations have gone down. The number of vaccinated people has gotten to not a good point, but a stable point.
It's a number they keep throwing out there to let you know, like, hey, we was going the right direction at one point.
Yeah, I mean, we were, but then it slowed down, and now everything is opening back up. We're at about 1,000 people a day across the nation die from coronavirus, and we as a society are just okay with that.
So I know we had the vaccine, which is not a cure. But when someone gets sick, how do they treat it then? Are they still using those ventilators? Or are they just...
I mean, no, only if you need to go on. You only get ventilated if you need to be ventilated.
Okay.
And so if your breathing is so labored that you can no longer do it on your own, that's the only time you get it.
Right.
So the best treatment that they have is, one, isolate you and give you any level of whatever they could use to help mitigate symptoms. But the vaccine is there for a reason. But we've gotten to the point as a society where, say, we've 2.5 years, we just said, fucking, we're done with this.
Where the rest of the country, they would go complete shutdown, because that's what happened, I think, in, was it China?
Yeah, China.
China had like 2 or 3 cases. They said
it was more than that. They had a huge number of cases in a day. They shut
that shit down.
Cities, 8 million people went in lockdown.
Shut it down. Unplug it. Turn it off.
Said America, we won't ever do that again.
Keep it running.
We will not do that again. Since again, we collectively got to the point we no longer care about the pandemic.
So you saying we won't go through another shutdown again?
I do not foresee it happening.
God damn, my stock was that.
Said toilet paper stock.
Right.
Said I do not perceive America going into a complete shut. I mean, granted, we never went into a complete shutdown to begin with.
Yeah, it was like 50%.
Right.
There's like 50% y'all bitch so moan. I can't go outside. I can't go to work no more.
He said, but we're gonna see another surge. There's no way around it because we're already starting to see numbers go back up with what they call stealth Omicron.
The fuck are these? Who come up with these damn superhero names and villains?
I mean, well, it's still Omicron. I mean, it goes off the Greek alphabet. It's still Omicron. It still has that protein signature of Omicron, but it's now it's harder to detect.
Them motherfucker done adapted, changed.
That's what viruses do.
This nigga hard to catch somebody on child support.
That's what viruses do when you give them enough time to breathe. They smart like that.
Yeah, we dumb like that.
We are very much dumb like that.
Oh, it can't mutate. It can't go from person to person.
I will say it like this. Said before coronavirus, before the pandemic, I used to always love zombie movies, but I always said they never show how the zombie apocalypse starts because it would never make fucking sense. now I know it will make fucking sense. They can never make sense of how it was able to spread and how so many people got affected. But thanks to coronavirus, I see you, baby.
Well, good thing we live in Maryland because it gets cold up here. So zombies won't survive in the cold. They only survive in Atlanta and The Walking Dead.
So yeah, coronavirus is still a thing. We just don't care anymore.
So because I saw in the news they were saying that for a fourth dose, if you are
over age of 50,
get it.
Yeah, I mean, and this is not anything new as far as vaccines go. As you know, polio, so many other vaccines. They were giving out 4 to 5 boosters.
Okay.
Depending on the severity of the disease. So yeah, it's not a new thing.
So would you get another shot if they asked you if it needed to be done?
Yeah, I mean I already had 3. What difference is
I got a line here.
3 is enough.
You already got them antibodies and those microscopic machines in me.
I already got 3. What difference is a 4th one gonna make?
That's gonna be the one to trick you.
Ha ha! Now I got it.
Now we got you under control. We got all the peoples. I got my 3 shots, and I'm still going to suggest that if you got vaccinated, please do so. You can protect yourself and your family.
Right. Continue to wear a mask in those public spaces where you can't socially distance. Enclosed spaces, mask up.
And for both people who are masked or not wearing the mask, don't look at each other funny. It gets awkward. I'm
gonna look at you funny.
When you walk by somebody, you can't see it in the mask and everything, but it's just utter disgust. You have your mask on.
I'm judging you.
Now, the one thing I hate about a mask is that when I've greeted people and they, it's like, hey, how are you? And I smile. I'm like, good and you. But you can't see my smile, and I forget. I'm like, damn, wearing a mask, you can't see me smiling.
I mean, if your smile doesn't come out in your voice, then that's on you.
Well, I think it does. I hope it does.
Then you should be fine.
But it's just something I thought about. It's like, damn, you can't see my smile. I thought, I got a nice smile.
I'm a baby face. Look at my lips.
Don't be mad. You look like you older than me, and I look younger than you.
I'm okay with that. I've resigned myself to my age. Thank you very much.
You look forward to getting older.
Don't I?
With your already old self.
I know what I am.
So, let's see. What else we got going on here? So, we touch this real quick. There's a whole war going on over there in Ukraine, in Russia, between Russia and Ukraine. We haven't really talked about much about that, but Putin sucks.
Yeah, I mean it's in its 2nd month. I mean, but not only does he suck for the invasion of a sovereign democratic nation, but his army just also sucks. One, they're terrible, they're inefficient, and now they're just committing war crimes because they're taking a beating. So
what's the essence of a war crime?
Essence is they're attacking civilians, so they're killing civilians, people who are not in the armed forces. They're attacking civilian infrastructure, so they're attacking homes, they're attacking theaters, hospitals, wherever the fuck they want to drop a bomb, they just dropping bombs.
Yeah, they just fucking shit up just because.
Yeah. So take the idea of bodies laid out in the street and mass graves.
I don't. That's I think it's something that's just terrible to imagine. I was watching a clip the other day on the news. This Ukrainian family had to hide in their basement, cold and drafty as a basement, like stone wall. What finish like this, a stone wall to wall.
Yeah.
And the little girl had been like 8 or 9 years old, and she was taking chalk and coloring or drawing pictures on the wall of what was going on, what she could hear, like the bombs and the gunfire. And then she would draw pictures of, when it be like, when she remember it was like nice outside and it's all sunny and everything like that. And it's like, dang, that's fucked up. These are memories you're creating, but also you to go back to kind of like, put yourself in a better place, a better mind frame. Because what was going on, so.
Yeah, I mean, and as terrible as it is, I don't want to get too much into this, but I will say, fuck the media for their coverage of this. Because if you think about the fact that there are wars, atrocious wars happening in the Middle East and Africa all the time. They don't get this level of coverage because of the fact that they're black and brown people. This is what you expect. But the way they covering Ukraine is because they're white and they're European. Like, oh my God, how could this happen in a European nation? Like, they don't have wars and violence all the fucking time.
Yeah, I noticed that too. And then also they show images of, which surprised people. I don't know why, but when they treated black Ukrainians a certain way, and it's like,
I mean, they weren't even black Ukrainians; they were just black folks that were there.
But black folks that were there, and it's like, why are you surprised that's how black people get treated across the world?
Yeah. I mean, Europe is, parts of Eastern Europe are still very racist.
Yeah, so
they're very much a homogenistic nation and don't like outsiders and minorities. But yeah, so even though what's going on is atrocious. Fuck the media for the way they're covering it as if this is oh no, this is a first world nation. This is Europe. This kind of shit doesn't happen in Europe. Like, fucking most of the wars in the fucking world weren't fought in Europe.
Right. Did y'all forget about World War II? And what else we got going on? And lastly, we'll talk about with the level of violence going on in Baltimore. We have the upcoming election for the state's attorney soon. Yeah. So you got
district attorney.
Sorry, I thought state attorney. State attorney.
District. I believe it's
district. One of these attorneys. They got a race coming up for that, and you got everybody's pretty much starting their campaign, and one is from what the guy name is. I can't say his name. So it is for Baltimore City state's attorney, and his name is the Republican candidate, Thiru Vignaraja. Okay, yeah. So he wants to implement, because apparently it has been a spike in carjackings, and he wants to implement jack alerts as a crime deterrent for carjackers, and also too he wants to, instead of putting it on the local district attorney of like Baltimore, it would be handed to the FBI, the ATF. And outside of local law enforcement to prosecute these crimes. And so I think his pitch was that by doing so, they would come down swifter and harder with these sentences when it comes to go carjack or any crime period. That we're not seeing such like an overturn of repeat offenders or people getting released early because of crimes they committed.
I mean, but the thing about it is, and it's this whole idea, and it's so dumb, and we know it doesn't work, is that whole, we need to be tough on crime. It's great for political points, but we know statistically, it does not work. That whole harsher sentencing, that it doesn't work to deter crime. It doesn't, because it doesn't address the issues that cause people to be criminals.
Well, so, they're never going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Or do enough to prevent, the crime from happening.
Right. I mean, so, lack of opportunity, lack of investment in communities, that the factors that actually lead to crime, we don't ever address them. And so we just say, I'd be tough on crime because that's easy to get somebody elected because of the fact that, one, the soundbite, and two, it creates an emotional response in people. Yeah, crime is bad. I want somebody who will really punish people harshly for the crimes they commit.
Yeah, right. And it sounds good when you're saying it as opposed to your opponent who you feel as though might not be doing enough, or pretty much haven't done enough. So I know recently I was telling you about how it was a manager at a restaurant in Little Italy that got killed. I think it was a robbery gone wrong. And before the murder had happened, Little Italy was complaining about, I guess, of muggings or robbings and things of that nature. And they wanted more police presence. Nothing happened. Guy gets murdered, unfortunately, and then they throw out the police presence out there. I don't know if it's continued now, because I think this story happened maybe April, maybe back in late January, early February, something like that. So my point what I was making to you was that, why is it that we ask for it before it happens, but then we don't get it. Now it happens, we get it, but why is it not the same thing happening in the black and brown neighborhoods? And the obvious answer is, you can go and say that.
Well, I mean, an increased police presence doesn't prevent crime. It moves crime into areas where the police don't see it. And the fact of the matter is, you're not going to get a bunch of police patrolling a neighborhood. One, because a lot of people don't want them there because of the optics that it creates and the mistreatment that the police do on these black and brown communities. And two, that the police force is there to protect capitalist interests. They're not there to protect and serve. They don't have to. I mean, there's a Supreme Court case that says that the police do not have to protect and serve.
Right, they did to protect the business. So like
capitalist interest.
Right. So Little Italy is a place of business. You know, your regular neighborhood with maybe a corner store at the end is not. They're not a place they're gonna want to keep a lookout for. Protecting wise. Maybe so if there was some dealings going on there, something like that. They but they're not gonna be there like they're not gonna beat the streets pretty much.
And the fact of the matter is, we know statistically, having more police doesn't do anything. Said out of all of the crimes, the major crimes that get reported to police, which is about 50% of all crimes actually get reported, the police only solve about 2% of them. So out of the 50% that gets reported, these are crimes that get reported to the police. They only solve 2, as in the police make an arrest, there's a prosecution, the person goes to jail. 2%.
Out of 50.
Out of 50% of all crimes.
So what are y'all doing?
They getting a lot of money.
They get overtime.
It said the largest portion of the budget for most cities goes to the police force. So giving them millions and millions of dollars doesn't actually make them more effective. So hiring more police officers doesn't actually make them more effective.
No, it don't, because they be pitching when they be hiring for people like make. I done heard over the years go from like 38,000 to 44, 55, like almost it's damn near 60 now to start as a starting police officer. It's almost I think it's 60,000.
Sure, the job can be dangerous, but the fact of the matter is that if you're looking for the police to, 1, stop crime, 2, to deter crime before it happens, and 3, to help you with solving crimes, it's just not, statistically, it's not there. None of that happens. But it's always, for the illusion of safety.
So the blue lights it didn't help.
Oh, no. All it did was just take the crime off the main streets and push them into the alleys in the darker areas where the blue lights couldn't see. Because again, if you never address what causes crime, you're not gonna stop crime. Duh.
So we need what was the crime dog named McGruff? We need McGruff back?
No, McGruff need to have a different message.
Oh. How the song go? McGruff. Fight tight on, tough on crime. Oh no, you got hit our number 60652.
McGruff, Chicago, Illinois 60652, and help me take a bite out of crime.
But why would we get commercial from Chicago crime, not from Baltimore crime?
Because that's where McGruff was located.
Well, yeah, we need it. Well, I guess we had a mascot. He be doing crime too.
Right. Fucking Rockwall in a trench coat in the goddamn wave
selling
cap.
rocks
in a wave cap.
Hey, ain't you supposed to be stopping crime? But you supposed to mind your business?
You know what this is. So there you go. Even with the surge of crime, Baltimore is still moving forward and trying to go back to its glory days. We'll see how that works.
Oh, we got a place, the Harborplace down the harbor.
Yeah,
they're getting a facelift too, because I believe the only thing there, it used to be an H&M in there. I think H&M closed, but I think the only thing there really is just Phillips seafood carryout and Hooters. Yeah. I think that's it.
I mean, it used to be a lot of shops there, but it fell into disrepair and people just weren't going. So they're gonna renovate that and see if they can bring in some new business. Well, again,
and they've had a shit ton of new restaurants. Not new, but they've had a shit ton of restaurants coming in and out there in the last few years.
Yeah.
And with the pandemic, of course, that didn't help anything because a lot of places were just trying to fight for getting your money pretty much and offering deals and services and. We'll bring the food to you pretty much, or get this much off on using Uber Eats and whatever the Grubhub and all them. So
again, even with everything that is going on in crime related, there's still some traction to renovate this and facelift the city and see how that goes in the next couple of years.
Yeah, so I mean, you still gonna have Afron. You still gonna have the Timonian Fair. You know, nothing really happens out there from what I can remember.
I mean, all of those things that are staples of, Maryland life and city life are still going to be there. But now, I guess, they're trying to bring something back.
Is it something that you want to see? Is something that you want to see come back that you remember, growing up?
Not really. I don't have nostalgia glasses on when I look back to growing up because it was rough.
I'm sorry. I forget we ever do that. We had different upbringing.
Right. I don't wear nostalgia glasses when I think about my past. But no, I'm interested to see 5 years from now how all of these things play out.
Okay.
So I'm more looking towards the future than them bringing back something from my past. My past could stay exactly where the hell it's at.
Yeah. Well, if I could bring back something, I wouldn't bring it back. I never got to experience this as a kid because I was too young. Bring back the El Dorado.
Come on down to the El Dorado.
Come on down to the El Dorado. Hear that shit on the commercial all the time on the radio. I was like, "Well, Dad, can we go there?" Nah, no. Why you keep asking that? It come over here so often. I want to go down to El Dorado.
When you got older, you should have went. I've gone. Yeah, it wasn't nothing spectacular.
Oh, well, the theme song was catchy as hell.
Right, that's about what it was.
So y'all need to drop about $10 million out of this $200 million you got going to Lake Clifton to the El Dorado.
Not even for the El Dorado, just for some more commercials.
Just for my entertainment.
Because that's all they want.
To bring that song back. So, I think we covered everything.
I believe we did.
So we got some laughs in that. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Let's see. Anything else going on? Well, anything going on with you? Anything new? You going away? You going on a business trip?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to Detroit for a work trip.
Well, man, when you put the Detroit right here.
I ain't
Detroit.
doing that.
Why not Detroit? It's sparkling.
It's fucking depressing.
Now, you go up there, you pitch the podcast. And see how depressing it is then.
I'm going to be depressed then.
Oh, boy. So, anything else going on with you? Like, anything exciting, any projects, or?
I think that's about covers all the excitement in my life. I'll make sure my life is boring by design. I done did enough shit.
Well, when I get better and I get my transplants, we're gonna do some more shit. 'Cause I know one thing: I am getting the hell up out of Baltimore for at least a week and traveling somewhere.
I feel you.
So, well, thank you for listening and tuning in. Make sure you watch the YouTube page, subscribe, like, comment, and share.
I guess he's signing us out now.
Well, I'm gonna do that part. You do the other part.
So that's the show. As always, you can check us out on YouTube, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Peace out.
Peace.